Every brand tells a story. And they are the storytellers. The Sutradhars. They present a brand with band, baja and barat to you. They are the Brandwallahs. He is the Chief Marketing Officer for the India unit of a South Korean auto giant. Virat Khullar is the Head of Marketing at Hyundai Motor India Limited. With over 2 decades of experience in building brands for the auto industry in India, he is our Brandwallah.
Our consumer is primarily millennials, but Gen Alpha, Gen Z are clearly very strong influencers when we look at a car purchase in a household. I'm very excited with digital and the power digital marketing gives to a marketer. You know, it is personalized, it is measurable, and it is impactful. Some years back, there was a big momentum that was generated by the metaverse. We also kind of dabbled into it, and there was expected to be an alternate digital universe that was getting set up, but boom, it did not work, and companies moved on from it.
You're watching the Brandwallahs. I'm Krishnakumar in conversation with Virat Khullar, Chief Marketing Officer of Hyundai India. Thank you so much for taking time out to speak to us, Virat. Talk to us, and one of the biggest headlines emerging from this is the fact that the all-famous Creta has now gone electric.
Thanks, Krishna. The car that has been the market leader in its segment for almost a decade now, truly undisputed ultimate, and as we say now, electric. So we expect 2025 to be very, very good for us on the Hyundai Creta Electric.
Virat, talk to us about what is your strategy in terms of communicating EVs to consumers. What is the marketing strategy here? What is the communication strategy that you use? Because you keep talking about how EV is all about the future, but then the consumers have to buy the cars in the present, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Hyundai Creta Electric has been launched. Okay, in India the market is less than 2.5%. The electric market is just 2.5% of the passenger vehicle market. So there is a lot of headroom for growth. We are launching one of the most strongest brands in the auto industry, the Creta, which is now becoming electric. So it's not just about launching a great brand into the electric avatar and obviously having very, very strong product attributes for it to be part of the consideration set of consumers, but also I think to give consumers the convenience of charging infrastructure, access to charging infrastructure across the country, giving them that trust and reliability of Hyundai's service network, Hyundai's brand presence for 28 years in this country. See, we have more than 1.1 million Creta owners in India today. They are also advocates of the brand. So from the brand love to the product strengths to the charging infrastructure that India now is ready with, I think this is the right time to launch the product. From a marketeer's point of view, we will have to inform, myth bust, educate, and convince the consumers on the advantages of an EV versus an ICE. The consumers can take a choice because Hyundai in India has a very, very solid ICE range. We have petrols, diesels, and CNGs. And now we add electric on top of it. So the aim is to give the consumer transparent information, and then the consumer is keen to buy whichever product they want.
What in your mind is the biggest buzz when it comes to advertising and marketing?
No, I think there is now two things that is happening. One is AI is now giving marketers a lot more power in their hands to personalize, to increase efficiency of their advertising, to have a higher frequency of creatives that can go out into this vast country of India, where there are ethnicities, vernaculars, geographies, festivals. So I think AI is something that will continue to grow as part of the quiver of a marketeer. Beyond that, I think what we are very strongly working on is, you should have a connected ecosystem when you launch any campaign with the relevant QR codes or scannable ads or clear click CTAs, where you take the consumer from viewing your advertisement on the medium to the journey you want the consumer to take.
Okay.
You want him to land on the website, you want him to land on a virtual showroom, you want him to land on the call center or go to the dealership. But I think through QRs, through scannable ads, through click-throughs, through very easy, seamless journeys online or offline is something that is very critical, because it's not easy to find the consumer. It's not easy to find a hot consumer for your cars. If you find one, don't lose them in the myriad of your digital ecosystem. I think if you make it as seamless, as easy as possible, that should be the capture that you should not lose for any prospect that comes to your.
Tell us, what exactly has AI done? From your CMO's role, how has it changed it or redefined it?
So we are currently deploying AI on the performance side. AI is the AI engines that we are using.
Performance side, as in to see how well an ad is performed.
Performance side, by performance I mean on the digital performance side, where we are looking at generating leads for our showrooms to sell our cars.
Okay.
So that we have got a very strong tool, which is kind of taking signals from the cars that are sold through the platform, and those signals is what AI works on, and then the advertising is done to those kinds of lookalikes to see higher conversion, higher ROIs coming across geographies and across creatives. You will measure the response on different creatives, you will measure the response in different geographies, you will also measure the response on different products. So a strong AI engine at the back end is trying to just give us higher efficiencies, while parallelly also increasing the number of inquiries. So the volume grows and the efficiency grows, which usually was never it was an either or game in the past. That is already happening. At scale, to generate creatives to make that happen is also something that AI is really helping us do. A lot of marketers are taking baby steps, to be very honest, but I think this is a power that will really help communicating at scale with personalization in the country.
What is the one thing is, according to you, that is actually blah in the world of advertising and marketing? People keep talking about it all the time, it's very overhyped, but Virat would say, it's quite blah actually.
No, so I mean, some years back there was a big momentum that was generated by the metaverse. We also kind of dabbled into it, and there was expected to be an alternate digital universe that was getting set up, but boom, it did not work, and companies moved on from it. But conceptually speaking, Krishna, I believe a marketer should not take anything as blah very early, because there are signals or sparks that will come. Maybe 1 out of 10 may work, the 9 may not work. But today the consumer also is dabbling with a lot of different platforms, a lot of different communication tools, a lot of different connectivity options. We will have to be where the consumer is. It could be niche, it could be high scale, but that only time will tell. As I said, AI is something that is entering our ecosystems and is growing. But fundamentally, I don't believe to take anything as blah and not work on it and then regret later.
Any ad that you saw or anything that you didn't quite work for you at all? That's the reason why I was.
It didn't quite work for me?
It did not work for you. An ad that did not work for you, or a branding campaign that did not work for you, that you came across, and hence you thought was blah.
No, I mean, we see a lot of ads on TV. We consume a lot of advertising today. I love to consume do a lot of that. I would not know what is blah, to be very honest on your side. I would not know that a very simple, high frequency advertising coming from a category that I'm not familiar with, but because the frequency was so high that they got high recall and they moved the goods. So creatively, I may sit on my hot seat and say that it was not that great, but they could have moved the metal just by high frequency.
Okay, so fundamentally, you are opposed to the concept of a blah in advertising and marketing.
I know, I am. I'm opposed to it.
Are you going big with digital by cutting down on print? Is it that kind of a trade-off?
So Krishna, as a marketer, I am very excited with digital and the power digital marketing gives to a marketer. It is personalized, it is measurable, and it is impactful. A lot of the other mediums today will not be one of those three. Obviously, the marketing budgets of any organizations are finite, so there will be a percentage increase or decrease versus another medium. The growth on digital percentage media is on the cost of other mediums, no doubt on that. Print has taken a hit from a Hyundai point of view. But yes, the advantages of print are more tactical, more regional, more
How
network.
much of a hit? If I were to say you spend 100 rupees on print, then how much do you spend today now?
So over the past 3 years, the amounts would have been half.
Oh, if you spend 100 rupees in the last 3 years,
It would have been half. A lot of it has shifted to digital. A lot of it has shifted to hyper-local digital marketing, which is used by our dealers very, very strongly. And now a very high percentage of our inquiries and my retails are actually coming via hyper-local digital marketing.
Wow.
So yes, clearly there is a very, very strong uptick on digital, even in high involvement categories like cars, where we are enabling not only top funnel, but also bottom funnel ROI coming through social and digital media.
Talk to us about what is your strategy, communication strategy when it comes to taking a brand to the Gen Z consumer and the short attention span consumer.
Yeah, so our consumer is primarily millennials, but Gen Alpha, Gen Z are clearly very strong influencers when we look at a car purchase in a household. You and me cannot buy a car without my son or my daughter telling me that, what to buy or what not to buy. So we have very clear demarcated marketing strategies for the youth of the country and for the discerning, I would say, decision maker in the family. We would do a lot of youth marketing events on the experiential side. We would do a lot of social media, influencer work, and then we will also do a lot of technical, product videos, etc., etc. Just depends on the stage of consumer buying behavior and also what is the medium we are choosing. Am I using a hyper-local ad for a click-through, or I'm using reach advertising through Facebook, which is more sequential on YouTube, things like that. So we very strongly notice the impact of Gen Z and Gen Alpha in decision making, and we really use them to advertise, announce, and even help convert products like cars in Hyundai. I am very proud of, to be very honest, the Creta campaign we did in January last year, where we onboarded Deepika Padukone as our brand ambassador, a global icon, along with Shah Rukh Khan, where we got Siddharth Anand and we kind of created an action sequence on the product. I love the creative side of advertising. Very simple mantra, high creativity with higher efficiencies so that you deliver the objectives that your organization is set for.
What exactly is your social media strategy when it comes to taking brand Hyundai to the consumers in India?
So our social media strategy is very, very clear. We want to take out snackable content with a meaning to deliver an ROI. We have more than 15 million fans and followers across our social media, one of the biggest auto communities in India. We have content going out on both sides. One is content going out to generate more and more prospects. The second is content going out to generate advocacy, loyalty, and fandom for my current owners and consumers. So the first part is getting people down in the funnel. The second part is how do I generate love and how do I generate an augmented product experience for my current owners. They're actually buying mobility. So, mobility can have experiences, memories, sharing moments together. So we run social media on the full funnel. Depending on the month, depending on the product, it will be reach or it will be lead gen, for example. We have tools on both sides. We have MarTech on both sides. But I think the objective very clearly would be that we will look at measuring top and bottom funnel on digital. The digital percentage media is also growing year on year, as I told you. But it is one of our most impactful, important and measurable mediums going forward.
How do you plan to allocate your digital spends between, say, a Meta to, even within Meta, from Facebook to WhatsApp to Instagram to other platforms? How does it work?
Krishna, it's honestly very organic.
Okay. Certain car models lend to certain platforms better. Is that how it goes?
Absolutely, and you get to understand about 15 days whether the buck has delivered or not.
Okay.
So there is a discovery platform, there is an intent-driven platform. In certain consumption patterns, we will see better delivery from Meta. In certain consumption platforms, we will see YouTube performing better. In certain, I would say, short formats like Reels or Shorts, we will see A versus B. And you are not hooked onto or built into any of the platforms for a longer period. The MarTech tools give you the power to choose to transfer media budgets on the go. So to give you an example, our hyper-local digital platform, which has more than 600 dealers active, has actually buttons to transfer budgets real time between platforms, between cars, between creatives. So with that kind of power on your hands, it is obviously you will start with some kind of historical data to say it will be A or B, 60%, 40%, but then based on the campaign flow on a weekly basis, you can actually transfer and deliver the best results. And please understand, yesterday's performance is today's need. So from that point of view, we are no longer where we were yesterday. I have to grow with the same amount of money on the same platform with the same consumers with better efficiency.
What is, say, one iconic advertisement or a brand campaign or a marketing initiative that really, stayed with you and to the point where it continues to inspire you even today when you are working on your next marketing campaign? That iconic ad or ads maybe that you grew up with or that just, flashes in your mind every time you're working on a new campaign.
Yeah. No, so to be very honest with you, in the earlier years, about 15 years back, we were all hooked on to our televisions. And we were also seeing TV advertising very high frequency. So a lot of us remember a lot of advertising from the 90s and from the early 2000s because that's what a lot of India was watching. Today we have more than 1 billion minutes going live every day on social media. So it is very difficult for a single ad to cut clutter by giving very high frequency SOVs across competition, across different media. I'm obviously very, very impressed with FMCG marketing, with campaigns like Do Nothing by 5 Star. It's not just, I would say, the TVC. It's the Do Nothing University, the Do Nothing videos, the Do Nothing UGC work that they did, etc., etc. So, the CMO category is a good friend. A lot of the work that they do is very, very interesting. But see, some categories are attuned to creating drama, confectionaries and stuff like that. But some categories like cars, it'll have to be a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more product showcase, technology showcase. So we tend to do that kind of work. But something that always impresses me is how in 6 seconds or 10 seconds, you have to inform the consumer that a great product or a great car has been launched by Hyundai. I think that is the challenge today that I'm really trying to solve. It's a mixture of creativity, but it's also a mixture of media buy, format, ratio, frequency, etc., etc. So the world has completely changed in the last 10 years for marketers.
The last 10 years, and the paradigm shift is that you think of digital first now before you go to the traditional way.
Absolutely, no doubt. There is absolutely no doubt on that. We all start from social and digital and go on to all traditional mediums.
And that is a big paradigm shift in the last decade.
It's last decade, yes. So it's not a recent phenomenon now, it's now a 10-year-old phenomenon.
Any car ads that you really love? It could be a Hyundai ad.
No, so I am very proud of, to be very honest, the Creta campaign we did in January last year. where we onboarded Deepika Padukone as our brand ambassador, a global icon, along with Shah Rukh Khan, where we got Siddharth Anand and we kind of created an action sequence on the product. We also did a lot of tie-up with Bollywood influencers on Instagram and stuff like that. We kind of created a hype to launch a movie, and in 15 days we really created quite a buzz on the Creta Creta facelift that was getting launched in January of last year, actually. So that is something that is very close to me. I would say it is how you grow clutter, how you inform the consumer, and actually generated footfalls to your dealerships. If you did all of that in 15-20 days with finite marketing expenses that you had, I think you've delivered the goods home.
One thing that you look forward to the most in your job?
No, I love the creative side of advertising. I love coming to work every day. I want, and I make it able that my team also loves coming to work every day. To find the way to attract, to make the consumer happy and convert the consumer to buy a 20 lakh rupee product is exciting, it is daunting, it is challenging at the same time, and it is at Hyundai a bunch of 20-30 people who have to do it on a daily basis with competition evolving on an everyday as we speak. But I think that is the challenge of the job. How will we be creative? How will we get the 30 seconds? How will I see a new trend coming yesterday on Instagram, and how will I go live on it in 2 days? Is something that is really, really exciting about my job.
What is the one thing that you, may I use the word hate, that you absolutely hate about your job, you detest about your job, the one thing that you don't look forward to when you're getting ready to go to work?
No, so something that I am skeptical about is the intensity or the enormity of data that comes out of digital. I mean, reach, impressions, the millions that get churned out. I think one has to find the needle in that haystack. That is just, I would say, overwhelms. But one has to be very, very sharp on finding the ROI from the data stack coming out of any digital media campaign. I don't hate it. I mean, there's no point hating it. It's what's churning out. But at one point of time, I think those things, you will have to find your own dashboards, your own metrics to measure. But the enormity of the kind of stuff that comes out of any digital campaign is as of now, a big gray area.
If I were to ask you, what would be your message to aspiring marketing professionals watching us having this conversation? You're a seasoned hand in the scheme of things. What about the ones who are just starting out or wanting to enter the field?
So I would have a very single line mantra for the budding marketeers who are entering marketing. Please know your consumer. Please blacken your hands. Please go and sit in the retail franchises where the consumer is actually purchasing. Try to have conversations with all age groups to understand where their journey started from. MarTech will give you a lot of information, but real touch feel with consumers in the beginning, when you are coming out of your management schools and getting into jobs, please go to the site. Please go and meet the buyer. Please go and meet the influencer. A lot of qualitative insights come from there, and you really would become a better marketer. I started my journey from sales. I put 10 years in sales before I moved into marketing. And let me tell you, that was the best learning possible.
One last thing before we let go of you. Tell us, what is the one big thing you're looking forward to in the future when it comes to branding and marketing?
Very simple mantra. High creativity with higher efficiencies so that you deliver the objectives that your organization has set for. And please do it at a very high frequency, a weekly level or a monthly level, but there is no way out of high creativity with much higher efficiencies.
Quick question. It's not like these days you have to make a proper TV ad first from which you sort of cull out the kind of content that you want to promote on social media.
It's not a straight line anymore.
So you start from, say, short video format on social media and you expand that into a full-time advertisement?
There is no straight line anymore. It's a lot of parallel action. It's a lot of parallel shoots that happen. You will obviously fix the brief and fix the communication and fix the positioning. But after that, a lot of teams will work parallelly to deliver content.
Parallelly to deliver a full TV advertisement at the same
No,
time.
the
short
ATL
videos.
team will work on a television commercial. The DVC guys will work on short format, long format, longer format, storytelling. We will have partnerships coming out from the media team. We'll have the experiential team going out with other forms of content and generating UGC. So as I said, you fix the positioning and then you go as a full team, creating what you are best at.
All right, Virat, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
time
you very
out to
much.
speak to us here. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Brandwallahs.